Oh, my mic was muted. We live once more? I think we are. Well, guys, welcome to another stream, I guess. Wait, I am wearing the right skin. Okay. Okay, welcome back to another stream on my Let's Play. This is day number 17. I still need to make up my an extra video or extra stream before. Oh man, I'm getting close. I need to make a stream soon. Potentially tomorrow. I want to see what I can do, but I also have to figure out some other things in the meantime as well. But today, the first thing I want to do is actually... where's my diamonds? Oh, it's in my inventory. I want to make a couple more upgrade templates. Yeah, that should be plenty there. And then I want to netheriteify my armor and just upgrade it. Yeah, that's crazy. Oh man, this feels weird having that. Oh my god. So actually off camera I did do a little bit of mining. So kinda something that off camera mining, of course. I wanted to prevent that as much as I can, but so yeah, real quick, I need to share a stream link once more. Streams, go and paste that in there, and then go on to the station, and there we go. All right, there we go. So I got that. Actually, I want to open up chat in a different I want to open up the dashboard so I could see chat quickly. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I was like, huh? That's weird. Okay. Okay, so I'm thinking of just doing something simple for today, I think. But yeah, I just want to just start mining trees. Do I have an axe? Yes, I do. Very good axe. And just start mining trees and kind of get things ready for another big project for the future. So yeah, let me just kind of get the background music going. I forgot all about that since I didn't do it last night because I was with a couple of friends and they were plenty of entertainment. I was actually listening to a podcast earlier from as someone I watch. Oh. There we go. That's better. Boy. You know what? It doesn't matter if I have all that. I'm just gonna continue grabbing things. Yeah. Wait, I don't have to just get oak. I could just get whatever I want because I'm gonna need all this for a project. Excuse me, sorry. Needed to clear my throat. I'm thinking I just want this to be a shorter stream today because I am tired and also I gotta finish up the podcast I was listening to. Well, I mean, it's kinda a bit of a I mean, I'm not comfortable with sharing the podcast I was listening to, but it was an interesting podcast. I mean, I don't ever this is my first time listening to a podcast in a little while actually, and I haven't really done it in a like just podcasts are very informative, but they can really lean the way of thinking, you know. But also, I mean, it was a pretty chill podcast, so it's nothing political. So it's more about, I could describe what was. So this, you know what? I could describe it. So it was actually a lot about. So it was these guys just ice fishing in Minnesota, ice fishing and doing podcasts at the same time. They don't do it ever so. This is like the first time that they've actually done the ice fishing portion, but they were ice fishing and they were just talking about things like being like, oh, what is it like being sober, and maybe like something about a wedding, like they were like something about in a Mexican news or some sort, like it got their picture on the Mexican newspaper or something. I don't know exactly, but I mean it was it was a funny podcast though. What was another topic? I don't know. Oh, I stopped on a bit that they were just, I think, talking about no, they were still on the sober part, I believe. Like you can't really be like it's hard to, in a sense where it's kind of hard to stay sober if like you have a lot of peer pressure, especially during the summer months and especially with a lot of friends, because like you want to be up in pace with a whole bunch of all the other people and all that. Now I haven't had a single drink in my life, so that's something else for me, because I'm not a professional about talking that. And I mean, for me, I want to stay away from alcohol as much as possible, be as sober as possible. So I mean, and that's a good goal. Goals are those goals are one of the most important goals that you could try and aim for, is like being able to be as alert as possible with as many things or as much as possible, you know. Let me do that and split those. Yeah, that does it. And don't need that grass. I already have some. Awesome. And I could just continue on going. And I don't pick up that stuff, yeah. And yeah, actually I still have the tab open. Yeah. I haven't gotten past those bits yet in the podcast, so yeah, so that's definitely something else. And anything else, I mean, it's just it's very simple. I mean, you don't have to worry about much at all. And I mean, yeah. I mean, there were times like this is not even on my plans at all, which I thought about doing a podcast a real while ago, but I realized that, well, first of all, it's at times it gets like sharing a lot, like anything, like I'm not sharing anything but my YouTuber life. And once I get like, sometimes I would probably get more comfortable into like more real life things, like, oh yeah, I like, yeah, like, I mean, I share a few things, mind me. I mean, yesterday I was out on a boat for like, there were 2 days in a row where I was out on a boat, and man, those were, I mean, going fast is one of my most favorite things to do. And definitely living down in the deep south, it was still pretty warm, so it really is something else. I mean, now, of course, it's getting close to that time. I'm considering moving back up north, back like how it was in the middle of the summer, like June, July. But, or I've already considered it, no matter what, I'm moving up there. It's just more on lines of, like, when do I leave? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, of course, I'm not familiar with, I'm familiar with cold climates, but I'm not familiar with driving in cold climates. I'm a relatively newer driver, in a sense, but I'm also a bit skilled at my age set bracket. Like, I could do a lot better maneuverability. I mean, it's way different compared to, let's say, like, I've driven in dirt, sand, like, fast as well, like, speedy fast, like 50 miles per hour in, like, very sandy conditions. And that's what you get with living very close to a beach. And also, the dirt is actually like almost sand based. It's so diluted with sand that it's not even basically dirt, you know. So in that case, like, it's very in the, like, you're almost like not in the right basically condition set, you know, like but I mean, sand traction's different than snow traction. Snow is slippery, sand is not. But I have been in mud, and I mean, mind me, these are in street tires. Muddy and street tires, not what you want to do. Now, I've almost got stuck recently, but also that I was towing something, which you shouldn't really tow and mud at the same time. So that's another additional thing that you gotta consider, in a sense, where, oh yeah, I'm not going to be towing anything, but also I do have 4x4, but not all-wheel drive, so it's not like the way that you would typically, like, what makes the difference between 4-wheel drive and all-wheel drive is that, you generally want to, 4-wheel drive spins basically all 4 wheels at the same speed, except for the front 2 wheels. Now, you can lock the rear at which the rear typically has a differential, which allows the tires to be spinning at different rates. So, all-wheel drive lets the front tire spin particularly, because if you've ever been in a 4-wheel drive car and do tight turns, both tires are spinning at the same speed, and your car tends to skirt or hop. So, all-wheel drive is optimal for snowy conditions, but not mud and sand. But 4-wheel drive is more optimal for mud and sand, because or even rock crawling as well, I can say, is that you could get the exact same like, if the power is different on 2 different wheels, let's say one doesn't have traction and the other does, it'll spin the other tire, but the one tire that does have traction or is on the ground will just not spin to begin with. So that's where you're conflicted with that. Like, you can't get the power where it exactly needs to be in the right way. It's just more about where the power goes for the drivetrain. So, yeah. That's a little bit of an insight for that, just for a bit of extra clearing up some confusion for some of the non-car enthusiasts. So, there's that. So, there's that, but also I mean, I'm a bit of a car enthusiast. I like sports cars, especially sports trucks. Like, there's Ranger Raptor, even the F-150 Raptor. Even though, I'm not a big size, a full size truck guy. I'm a mid size truck, which is the Ranger. There's not real. I mean, there's the Tacoma and the Chevy and the Colorado and I think it's the Canyon, GMC Canyon, which is the GMC equivalent of the Chevy. It's the GM twins, as a little background knowledge. But there are more off-road capable, as off-road capable as the Raptor, but the Ranger Raptor's by far like the best in the segment of performance, almost Baja, which is desert running, fast desert racing, basically. Baja's fast desert racing, named after Baja, California, and that's where a lot of that happens. Baja racing. Now you could do sand racing in, let's say, Australia, which is where the Ranger Raptor was developed, or even just the Ranger in general is all developed in Australia, which I'm like a pickup truck. I mean, yeah, America and Australia kind of have the same idea whenever it comes to like pickup trucks, where, I mean, like, pickup trucks are a bit more useful than something compared to, like, let's say a K truck, which is a Japanese technically pickup truck, where it's super small and all that. Like, you don't really want that in North America, even though they are pretty cool little cars. But they don't get up to speed, and also they're older, and also you would have to import them into the US. For me, I've only seen the K vans. Like, they're so tiny. Oh man, they are so tiny. Like, those are real crazy, and I mean, I almost thought of buying one or importing one, but I realized it's a bit more expensive than I thought, and also it doesn't get up to the regular over 100 kilometers an hour for your Europeans, which is 60 miles an hour for Americans. So it doesn't go above those speeds. So that's the one thing why I'm like, yeah, no, I travel on highways a lot, especially where I live. Like, there's a huge interstate close to me, which is basically almost like the American. A lot of people are more, I mean, I'm sure some people are. It's a highway, big highway. And, oh, okay. Okay, I'm gonna have to deposit this dirt. But yeah, that's just, I mean, thought about buying it, but I'm not ready for one. And also, it's a manual. I don't know how to drive a manual. That's a thing. I gotta learn how to drive a manual, man. I gotta learn. I feel like it should be a necessary thing, especially if I want to start traveling more frequently, in a sense, because, like, if I want to go outside my country, I mean, that's definitely something that I want to do. But I'm limited by the money I have, and, I mean, yeah. Sadly, I don't have a donation link, so, I mean, you know, why would you want to donate to me when you could donate to better people anyway? Because I'm not an entertaining guy whatsoever, so, yeah. So, I mean, cars are something that I've been getting into the past year and a half, because, I mean, it really is something that, just turned into almost my everyday way of thinking. Like, oh man, have you guys seen the Cybertrucks? I mean, that's just it's such a stupid polygon shape. Like, I don't like those cars, and quite frankly, they have aluminum frames, which, well, a durability test shown that their towing isn't as matched as it is shown, you know, like, or, I mean, towing is matched, but it works, but what like, since it's an aluminum frame, it snaps. That's what I was gonna say. It snaps, it doesn't have a point, like, it doesn't have a good enough bond, basically, to keep the toe bumper connected with or the frame connected with the hitch. So I mean, sure, I'm sure there's I mean, there might be good alternatives. Like, you might be able, with that truck, you might be able to go, okay, let's do an aluminum frame and then bolt on a steel hitch assembly, you know, which is where, let's say, a trailer gets connected on to the car. So I mean, and that's what I like about steel frame cars. And for some reason, I thought the Ford F-150 went to aluminum frame. Maybe not all aluminum, but primarily aluminum in some areas. Or is that the engine? I do not know. I remember hearing something about F-150 going aluminum. But, yeah, there's that, and, I mean, I mean, aluminum's a pretty good, metal, I would say. I mean, now, electric cars. Let's talk about electric cars for a sec. I'm trying to think. Well, electric cars are nice. Yes, they're nice cars. But, as an average gas guzzling enthusiast, a pickup truck owner, I'm not personally ready for an electric truck. Or anything electric at all. For now, the way that I run my ordeal when I travel more than a lot of you guys think of, and I mean, this is the only month where I'm not really traveling at all, to be honest, except maybe potentially the end of the month, but that might change. It varies, you know. So yeah, there's that. So so it's just kind of always a whole, like, yeah, I travel too much, and I mean, yeah, it can be cheaper with getting electricity, but at the end of the day, you're wasting time traveling. But also, you can walk around if you really want to, like outside the car and all that. But I mean, why would I want to be sitting when I could just fill up my tank and I just go? No need to wait more than 5 minutes at a pump. At least with my truck, pickup truck. Yeah, I own a pickup truck. So be it. I love my pickup truck. It's probably, and I've actually gotten a good amount of compliments about my truck compared to a lot of other people. Either it's because I'm a young man and I look good in it, or it could be, I mean, I just got a lot of compliments, oddly enough. Like, I mean, I don't know why. I've been just getting, I mean, now I haven't gotten a compliment in a couple months, I know that. But overall, whenever I first got my truck, I got a good amount of compliments. Like, I don't know what it is, but, like, is it with the people that are just nice? Is it because they know me, or is it because I never knew them? But also, I never showed it off. I minded my own business, so I mean, yeah, it's a nice gesture to say, yeah, hey, you have a nice car. Like, if the car looks nice, I mean, go ahead and compliment it. nothing's preventing you from saying that. Yeah, I'm all for that. I'm just saying I'm surprised that I've gotten compliments in it, at least in a pickup truck. You know, like I've never seen anyone say, "Oh yeah, nice truck you got there," or you know, like I never heard. Even my my father owns a F350, and I never heard a compliment from that about his truck. So it's something about either it being I'm not sure. Am I just being an asshole? Excuse my language. Sorry. And that just spit out of a driver. I'm not. But I'm not. And this was before I became a butt while driving. I was actually relatively moderated, I think, as a driver initially. And that's whenever I got the compliments, so I wonder, yeah. Excuse my language. Sorry about that. But yeah, I don't know what the deal with that was. I haven't gotten a compliment in a while, so probably the compliment phase kind of phased. Actually, the last compliment I got, what I complimented someone with a newer version of my truck, the 24 model year, and they complimented me back. But before that, the last time I got complimented was at a Kroger up north in the Midwest, and yeah, that was the last compliment. I've probably gotten a different compliment at some other point. I don't remember. It's been a while. But yeah, compliments are always very nice to have as a person, and always give compliments. Like, I mean, yeah, I mean, of course I was saying how bad this, I mean, Cybertruck is a bad truck. I mean, I don't like it. You should have gone with, like, maybe if it had a better design, I would have been more okay with it, but it being a polygon, like a childhood drew it, I'm like, yeah, no. It should have never been designed that way, to begin with. It's like every kid's dream to design a car, and sometimes, not every kid's dream, but whenever they design a car, that's the first one that comes up, and they're like, oh wow, this is the best looking car that I ever have. Which, I mean, yeah, there is that. But, or I ever drew, and I mean, it should become reality, but not all ideas should become reality. Like advertisements on car infotainment screens, which should never happen. Watch out, Ford Motor Company. I am going to be on you if you add those. I mean, I think it would be a distraction. I mean, we already have advertisements on radios, and I think it's just like they filed a patent, so maybe they might be preventing people from actually using the or making said technology to show an advertisement, you know, which I haven't seen any developments. I think it's just more on lines of, okay, we're able to we allow we do it so we could at least initially prevent people from like other car manufacturers from using that in your own cars. And I'm sure department or whatever, any US department who regulates cars, probably Department of Transportation or something, I don't know, something like that, I don't know, but I think they'll be like, yeah, no, this is a big distraction while driving, you know. I mean, yeah, I don't know why ads are baked into everyone's life now. Wow, I cleared a lot of this out. This is looking barren. Holy smokes. Yeah, that's barren. That feels weird to see it like this. Yeah, it's for a big project. But yeah, whenever it comes to that, I mean, ads in cars should never happen. I mean, as much as I want a new car, or even the best car, I mean, if I ever get a new car, I mean, yeah, maybe I would I could potentially afford a Ranger Raptor if I got enough. Which, I mean, a Ranger Raptor's actually not too. It's a real good truck. Now I'm just on a borderline. Oh, should I go with the more tow capable Lariat, or should I wait a whole bunch of extra years to go? Okay, maybe they have a Tremor version, which is like, I guess the off-road package beneath Raptor, which it's off-road but more for a rock crawling off-road, and it's just a bit softer suspension, you know, for ready for off-roading, you know. Which, I mean, and also good for street and towing at the same time. So you don't have to worry about like your towing capacity, you know, like you don't have to worry about that. Because I'm thinking if I were to get a pick like a brand new truck right now, I would probably be going like it, not counting anything else. I would go with the Raptor by just what I do every day, or what I do. I don't tow anything near or up to 5,500 pounds, which I don't know what that is in kilograms. You do the conversions yourself, guys. But with that, it really, like, if you just tow only that, really just that much, I mean, 5,000, I mean, it's still a pretty good towing capacity. I mean, all I towed with it is a boat, so I mean, now I'm just considering, like, what's the weight of the boat that I want to tow in the future, because so there's some things in, so there's a speedboat that I have an eye on, and I want to, it's a family owned boat already. It's already owned. I could take it with me whenever, take it to a lake. I'm allowed to do it. It's over 500 miles, which that's like 750 kilometers, I believe, so, or even more. I don't know. But what I'm saying is that I want to figure out, it's a pretty big boat, and I want to try and figure out what the weight of it is. So I want to try and weigh it at a weigh station myself first, and subtract my, you know, truck's weight first, and then get a certified scale of, oh, this is the weight of the, like, oh wow, this is the weight of the boat with the trailer. Like, is it enough for me? Is it too heavy, or is it too light? Like, what's the tongue weight, or what, that sort of thing to consider. You have to consider that stuff whenever getting a car. Like, is that as much as you want to tow, or do you want to tow more or less? Or is that your limit, you know? Like, I can't tow probably anything more than 7,000, whatever my current limit on my 7,500 American pounds. Oh, man. And I don't know what the tongue weight is, but I need to consider the tongue weight. Maybe I could try and figure out the tongue weight thing. I mean, I did get a spec sheet for that, speedboat. I guess it's called a speedboat. Yeah, I can call it a speedboat. Yeah, but with that, it really is a freaking Guten Tag, guys. Mm. Come on, guys. Hi there, guys. hi there. Yeah. I don't need to get that resin. Yeah, no, I don't need it. I didn't do that much with that, so... Oop. What is this block? Oh, it's slowly oxidizing. Man, even though being in that... I'm probably out of sim distance, to be honest. Yeah, I'm probably out of sim distance. But with that, there's just lots of considerations, because, like, you don't need the biggest, baddest car around, or unless if you have the money for it, or unless if, like, I'm currently have my car paid off, so, I'm not worrying about any of that on my end. Like, I could trade it in whenever I want, or something, and then start doing payments, but... And the thing is that it's a 2019, so that's a relatively expensive truck. Or still not expensive, like $20,000. Which that's almost the same in euros, to be honest. Nowadays. But with that, I mean, it gets really... How would I say it? I mean... It gets really... finicky, you know? And... I mean, especially being able to afford things nowadays, like, you want to be able to afford as much as you can, in theory, be able to have, because, like, in this day, like, even a middle-class guy can't get, what they want in a car, you know? Like, they have to budget around. I mean, now one day, I do want to I mean, maybe if this YouTubing stuff kicks off, I don't know, I might be able to get a good... And I've kind of considered doing IRL videos, but I'm not exactly in the right mindset, especially whenever it comes to where my identity is shared, you know, like... I mean, it's just going to be difficult. Like, I want to do car videos, but thing is that I'm not in the comfort yet to share anything about, like, it's going to be hard to do it without a face. That's the thing. Maybe I can try and do it. Like, I want to try and do something, but I mean, I need a full rework of how I do my personal, like, stuff, you know? Like, how do I brand myself around? Like, would it be okay to do that, you know? Like, I would love to see car content coming from myself, and that's a hobby that I wanted to, or something I wanted to get into. I know Minecraft's the game I've been playing for so many years, but I want to at least try and start doing other things, because so far right now, Minecraft's not cutting it at the moment. Even though, yes, it does take time. You have to wait for, I mean, it may take another 5 years for me to blow up, but I mean, if I stay consistent, I mean, I could slowly but surely just maybe potentially become a good YouTuber. I don't know. I mean, I still have lots of time to go. And I want to still continue going on with this. Maybe it's... I mean, I love doing Minecraft, and I love making content, but it's just hard to figure out, like, how are you going to work out life when, like, you're working around a Minecraft, like, being a Minecrafter, you know, like, a professional Minecraft YouTuber or something, you know, like, working around that, trying to become one of them, but you're just stuck in your parents' basement for the longest time, you know, like, I'm I'm not in a basement. And I don't even have a career set, to be honest. And I'm still a relatively young guy, so just trying to be that, like, in the right, like, I want to try and do things correctly, but I want to do the things that I want to do, but the algorithm, I mean, it's kind of due to algorithm's fault, because, I mean, yeah, nobody likes the videos I make, or, I mean, it's, they usually just fall off after a little bit, like, they don't get the best view count. I mean, a lot of it is, I mean, you kind of have to do bigger and better, and I have plans to maybe try and do bigger and better during next summer time, which, I mean, it's still I'm gonna have to work some things around on my personal schedule. And also, I also want to kind of do some traveling. I'm a travel guy. I want to do traveling. I want to have an enjoyable life. Do, like, exploring the world, but I can't explore the world when I have to constantly concentrate on doing, doing this. I mean, yeah, I could probably do it. I'm sure Mumbo Jumbo does it. He has I mean, he goes to Vietnam or wherever on occasion. I don't know where exactly, but probably Vietnam. Mumbo Jumbo goes to Vietnam on occasion and brings his Mac with him, and he doesn't have like the best setup. So I mean, for going everywhere, so he compromised. He has a like what is it? Mac Pro. Is it Mac Pro? I don't know. Mac Studio with the biggest, baddest processor. And M2 processor, M2 Max, M1 Max, I don't know what it is. But with that, I mean, I could try and do that. I have a laptop that works pretty good. I gotta learn how to make it, like, I could edit, and it's a great editing machine, but the disadvantage that I have right now is that I could never really, like, I can't afford doing these travel vacations. Like, yeah, I could probably do some side hustle or side jobs, like maybe do DoorDash or Uber Eats and just slowly get the money, and then at the same time work doing this, what I'm doing right now, doing Minecraft, and then maybe Minecraft will slowly but surely become, like, maybe it will, or doing this content would slowly pay off, and I get stuff coming in, some dough. But that's not the whole ordeal. Like, I want to do things that I want to do, and I don't want to do a normal job. That's one thing that, like, a normal 9 to 5 is not what I want. Now, yeah, you might have to do a 9 to 5 on, like, randomly to get to where you need to be, but my goal is not a 9 to 5. That's what it is. It's not a 9 to 5, but I don't know if it's Minecraft, or is it YouTube in general, or is it, like, I mean, trying to figure out the best strategy to, like, I still, like, whenever I was asked by my parents on what you want to do for college, or what do you want to do for a living, a while back ago, like real long time ago, I said I don't know, and I kept saying I don't know, and that's a legitimate truth, and they're thinking, oh yeah, that's bull right there. But it legitimately is my honest saying. I do not know. And right now, I mean, doing this Minecraft, YouTube, I mean, it's the only thing that really fills in, and I mean, it's the only thing that I enjoy doing, and I would be okay doing for a living. I mean, yeah, I want to be, like, I think my younger child self took it myself super seriously, to be honest, or took saying super seriously. Well, I'm not the best at socializing to begin with. So, with that, I took, so in America, like, what was it? America freedom, just in general. I took the word freedom, took it a bit seriously, like, oh yeah, you're freely able to do whatever you want, with maybe not without consequence, or at least within the bounds of the law. And I'm just like, yeah, America, frick yeah, or freedom, yes, America, freedom. And you can, like, you do whatever you want, but in the harsh reality of it, I mean, now that it's kind of sitting in a little bit more in my growner mind, it's like, that's not really what's truly going on, you know? Like, it's not the real way things should go for a lot of this. And I want to try and make the most of freedom. So and I don't know exactly how I should do that yet. Maybe content creation is at least something to at least maybe potentially get to it. I don't know. To make the most of freedom is, is something that I could, to make the most of I hope, I thought about politics for a little sec. I like getting into maps and all that and geopolitics, but I feel like that's something that I would not be like a, good president, like, I'm not suited for leading an entire nation. Not even myself, to be honest, as you guys can tell. So, what kind of really is happening is that, like, yeah, I could potentially get into politics. Maybe start at the local level, go and expand into the state level, then into the a national level. But that's not what I want to do. Yeah, one of my biggest inspirations is Napoleon, actually. Not for just how, like, he was able to, like, show, like, he was, like, being the best leader he can be. And that's kind of what I want to be for Fracture, like, be one of the greater leaders. Not, as a president, but as, like, an owner, like, be a good leader for the server. And that's where my but I'm not a good leader. I'm not even the best leader. And that's why and good leaders sacrifice their power for the greater good, which that's what I've done. I let people split payments. I split the roles of myself to now a lot of other people and not just myself. And so far, by doing that, at the end, Fracture became a way bigger, or became way more stable of a SMP than if I was the leader of it, like that's something else. And yeah, in a system like the United States system, where it's a presidential system, you don't have all the power. You don't have all the power. So you of course have to go through the Senate and or just the House, or whatever, the legislative Congress. Have to go through Congress. first to approve some laws. Maybe you could do executive orders here and there, but you can't do as much. Like, you're limited by what, let's say, if you were in a party, like, typically a party would go for it, you know, if you were to introduce a bill, you know, and law, and, I mean, that's kind of how it works, generally, you know, at least in the US, like, you don't have all the power, unlike a monarch, which, I mean, yeah, monarchies are something else as well, which, I mean, I kind of looked up to monarchies a little bit as well, and also somewhat, I mean, more heavier on democracy, but, those have, there's, well, I could list an example. In modern times, okay, I don't want to be controversial here, but, what I'm trying to say here is that, so this one country, El Salvador, has cut their crime so far down by sending these gang members into prisons. Even if you're suspected of it, yeah, it ruins human rights, but it gets the job done. And that's how, like, basically act like a dictator to gain stability in your country. Get things in the right position where people would actually be thankful for it. Now, yeah, some of these human rights things, I mean, yeah, people can be concerned about it, but after a while, like, you see it and you're like, it's actually effective. And, I mean, you want to be always considerate about ethics of what you do, and I think what El Salvador did was probably good for their country. Now, let's say if the United States did it, or a different country did it that has a different circumstance where they're not in any like, it's not heavy in, I mean, like, it's not as bad as as El Salvador, then, I mean, yeah, I'm sure there'll be some concerns, especially if a different country did it. Like, I'm sure if it was in more of a dictatorial country, yeah, like, that doesn't even care about any rights at all, then yeah, that's an issue there. So yeah, I kind of want to stray away from this topic here. I'm not the most comfortable inside this topic, but yeah. So, I mean, there's just lots of things that you just gotta consider, especially going into the future of my future. I mean, 5 years from now, will I be on YouTube? Maybe, maybe not. We'll see how commitment goes. I mean, so far, this year has been my best year for YouTube content by far. And I know that for a fact. I could see it. I've uploaded at least, I'm saying, at least once a month, which that was a goal. Upload once a month, and I did that. It wasn't a New Year's resolution or anything like that. I was like, oh, I mean, Fever Dream sent it all off. I was able to start off a bit more fresh with a bit more people instead of it kind of being on Yui. You know, I started off the year on Fever Dream, and from there it just kicked off. Like, I was like, wow, there's good people and more opportunities I can take to do this. And I mean, it's just that quick moment of motivation that I need. I mean, yeah, there were times where especially midsummer, I wasn't doing the best on content, and that's right after I moved, and I feel like there's something. I know that there's something. A mold, I don't know. Like something's not helping with my health. I mean, I ate healthy every single day, or not every day, but I ate healthy a good significant of the days. I cooked for myself, and I actually made myself super. I mean, no matter what, I was healthy, but it was fresh meat from not even it. It came directly from a butcher, not directly from a processing factory. Directly, so it came from a farm to a butcher, directly to a local farmer store. And you know what? I like that. Now, I think it was probably because it was a different environment for me. And also the house wasn't the cleanest house. There was lots of dust. And holy crap, I am being pummeled by them. Goodness sake. But, aha. Bingo. That's a bingo. But also, I was hooked onto watching this one show called Man in a High Castle, which is it's a show based in the 60s of an alternate universe where the No Germans won World War II along with the Japanese. So, and yeah, I was hooked into it because I mean the writing, especially for I watched all 4 seasons, and each episode was about 45 minutes long, and I mean I watched it like a good amount of the day. Some of the day I drove around, did my own things, and I mean it was a good show. But I mean, yeah, there were some things that were slowly but surely kind of strain me away from the show about going into season 3. It's more on lines of going into alternate universes, but I do think that they just and the ending was not the best ending for a show. They could have done better. They could have wrote it for they could have wrote it better for a nice easy outro season 5 potentially, or maybe a bit of a different ending where it actually was where they say maybe they do a bit of the I don't want to spoil anything, but maybe change the alternate ending where they show a bit of how this universe is gonna maybe how the universe rebuilds after that, after the Nazis got defeated. I said it anyway. The Germans got defeated. It's not defeated, but kind of one of the main characters got defeated. I'm not sure if I'm antagonist. I don't know. I think it's the antagonist. Yeah, the antagonist of the show. He viewed himself and after that, I mean the I guess Nazi ideology, America got surrendered, and I mean they kind of did show the surrendering at the end, but overall it was I mean yeah, so also I've always been thinking of getting a rabbit. Now getting a rabbit, I mean I thought about it, and it may not be the best time for me. I mean, where if I want to travel a lot, it may not be a good idea to get a pet, especially like a rabbit that requires a good amount of care, because I want to have them outside a cage and kind of a bit more free roam like a dog and all that, because I mean, think about it, like they deserve to be free roaming, at least if it's a domesticated rabbit, at least free roam inside a house. Maybe not outside, but you know, like have something like that, because that would be pretty. So during the summer, I've been, or for a few weeks, I've been setting out traps to catch them and release. I was just catching and releasing basically. So not to put them somewhere else, but to at least, it's just a catch and release thing. Like, and I check out the rabbit, see what they're like feel them and all that. And one of them actually had a lot of ticks on them, and I was like, oh, I saved that rabbit. I saved it. Now, was it? It's against the law to catch them, but it was on private property, first of all. So, but also I released them, so it's legal as long as you. It's probably okay as long as you release them, you know, like all others if you catch one, or unless if you go explicitly rabbit hunting in dedicated areas, you know, like you can't keep one at a wild one as a pet. But I'm sure hundreds of people have done wild rabbits as pets, which you shouldn't really do. I mean, if you like if you found like abandoned abandoned baby rabbits, then like in their nest, then like actually abandoned, like close to dying, and if you raise them yourself, I mean, you could raise them yourself and potentially they'll act like a domesticated rabbit, but they'll always have that urge to go out, like how they're born, like what they're truly born to do as a rabbit, you know. And that's the thing, like that's why I didn't keep any. Like, I mean, what was it? Yeah, so I actually posted a couple shorts on my third channel. Oh my god. But I posted some shorts and about Bartholomew the Rabbit. And what I did was I oh, sorry guys. Bartholomew the Rabbit's the one that had ticks on him, so I don't even know if it was a him or her. So so yeah, I'm sure the rabbit's probably gone already, to be honest. Though I do feel like that rabbit right there is, I mean, it was a small rabbit, and it was a relatively shaded area, but I'm not sure if he survived after all this long, because I mean, he did get a lot of carrots and lots of lettuce and all that, but I'm not sure if it was like, I'm not sure if touching the rabbit or catching, I mean, it's survival instincts now. You want to do that again, right, Bartholomew? If you're in Afterlife and listening to me, if you did it if you're in Afterlife and listening to me right now, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for your self-loss, but also, to begin with, you didn't have really any survival instincts to start off with. So, I mean, like, you just went straight in the cage, and you were probably one of the only, like, one of 2 rabbits I caught, I think. The other one I immediately released because it was just an experimental trap. And the second one was you, Bartholomew, and you, or oh man, a troublesome one as well. Like, you weren't cooperative. So that's something else. Cooperation with those guys are just something else. I mean, no wild animal would cooperate. So I mean, I did wear. I mean, for Bartholomew, I didn't really wear gloves, which I should have. But I mean, it wasn't too bad. I mean, wearing no gloves. I mean, I didn't. There was no. I mean, he didn't have rabies. I'm sure he would have died if he had rabies. I would have died if I had rabies. Wait, can you get rabies vaccines for animals? Yes, and I'm sure it's a really safe area because, I mean, it was in the Midwest, but also it's all surrounded by farmland and not wild forest. Now, you would be a bit more worried if it was wild forest, you know, like, but it was, I'm sure, like, the state's wildlife resources were like, may have done like a rabies prevention thing, you know, like they may have done something rabies preventative, you know. Maybe, I don't know. Did they give vaccines to them? But I don't know. Or do... Actually, let me search this up. Where's my phone? There it is. Do rabbits get rabies? Very rare. Okay. That's something to know. Note. Very well to know. Very well to note of. They can. I mean, I love rabbits to death. They're super cute. Especially if you're getting, I mean, very young rabbits. I mean, they're super cute. Now, one day I want to be, maybe I'll get a rabbit one day, but they're going to be a bit of a maintenance thing, and especially having families. My relatives have lots of, usually are dog people, and not cat. I'm worried about dogs with rabbits, you know. Like, I'm worried that, oh wait, let's say my parents' dogs will get my rabbit, you know, if they bring a dog over, you know. Like, that's a worry of my, that I'm worrying about. Like, oh, what if that happens? Which I don't want to happen. It's something that I highly, I mean, yeah, if it's them, if it's just them, like, visiting, I mean, that's probably just fine. If I were to say, it would just be fine. Just fine. I know it would be. It'd just be fine if I just left it in a cage. I mean, yeah, I could probably maybe let it free roam in my personal room. But other than that, I probably wouldn't ever let it out during that time. But yeah, you just gotta be careful. You gotta get the other, like, I'm sure I mean, almost technically my dog as well. I mean, I'm one of the care holders of it at the moment, but he's about 5 years old, 5-6 years old. So so he's just getting older. So I'm not sure how many more years, but I'm sure he's gonna he's in great health at the moment, so he's always happy. He's He wiggles and waggles so much, and I love him for that. It would be. I'm not looking forward to the day of him passing away, but also, I mean, man, I remember him whenever he was just a little itty bitty puppy. Whenever we first got him, very so sweetie. Oh, he's so sweet. He's so tiny, so cute. He's so tiny and cute. I mean, the dogs that I've been, that, I mean, I had a dog that went on for what, like 16 years. It was older than me for the long, and it was probably the best dog my parents have ever owned. I mean, yeah, there were, whenever he was young, my other dog was younger, way younger, he did bite me, but I think it was because he was jealous that I was getting all the attention, and that's probably because I was like really young, like a year old or something at that point. This is just stories that I've been told, and he would have probably almost been euthanized if it was close. He was close, but my dad was like, yeah, he got punished in a cage, or got caged, nighttime cage, for a real long time. So there was that, and at least for a year, I think it was a year till he was out of cage punishment, and he learned that it was the right punishment, at least, because I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's a real iffy thing with him. I loved him. He was such a good dog. Especially whenever he got older, he was just chilling, always being a good boy. He loved running out in the backyard, going back and forth, and always used to, sometimes in the morning, I would find him laying out in the living room, and I would just lay my head on his stomach, kind of like he was a pillow, and it was super nice. And I loved him. Yeah. Really nice dog, though. I think it was mixed breed as well. He was the last one found, and he was the last one in his litter. That's what it was. He was the last one in litter, and it was probably one of the best decisions, to be honest, that we got him. I think it was a Valentine's gift as well to my mother, for my father. And oh man, he was such a good boy. It's either a rabbit or a dog I want to get, but also it depends on who I'm going to be with in the future as well. So if, let's say, if my partner is allergic to dogs, then potentially consider maybe I don't know, if my partner's allergic to dogs, that would kind of be a down, like it would turn me down from them a good amount, because I would like to have a family pet, but also it kind of depends, It depends on the situation. That's really, like, I don't look for that in a person. I look for their actual personality. Their personality, and then join times I have with them is probably more impactful than having than having the ability to own a dog. That's a thing. Like, that having a good time with your partner is more impactful. Like, being able to, like, that's what it's more about than Like, it's not all about look. I mean, maybe it could be about. I mean, once you fall in, like, how do I describe this easily? You shouldn't look for looks in a person. I mean, you could have maybe some standards. I mean, for me, at least, I mean, I don't want someone who's slightly overweight. I mean, that's just me. That's just me. Maybe I'm more attracted to the thinner ones, but I should not say this stuff. Oh my god. I'm not trying to make it in a mean way. Okay. I'm not, but whenever I look for someone, I look for someone thinner, at least. That's all I'm saying. And I don't particularly look for people at all as well, so that's the thing. I don't particularly look for people. I'm primarily looking for if I have a good time hanging out with them, and would they be a good, suitable candidate, and well, it's more like, just love, that's all. I don't know how love occurs, but, I mean, I did have a couple love spikes, but just taking a break till things kind of properly get going for me, like life. Like, I have a career that I could focus on, like, I have money going on my end, you know? Which, I mean, yeah, sometimes it might, I'm not sure exactly. But, yeah. Let's see how well this has gone. Holy, wow, I got rid of lots of trees. It looks so barren, oh my god. So barren. I'm not going to be removing those trees over there yet. I want to wait till I figure out build ideas for there, because I want to keep as many vanilla things or beta 1.7.3 things as possible. So yeah, yeah, I like that. That looks. I mean, those tall trees are very good. Oh man, I'm getting tired. But yeah, there's just those things where, I mean, I have to just consider. That's all. I mean, I want a good life as much as the next person, but it's just gonna be. I mean, life is hard and difficult. You just have to not. I was about to say. What's a good word? Be strong. Never. I mean, just saying, never give up. Even like each one of you guys have some. At least I know my. I don't know my audience yet. I don't know what their background is or anything like that. So just be yourself and just be strong. Be tough. Try and become someone who you want yourself want to be. Not who someone else tells you who you want to be. As long as it's legal or ethical, you know? Like, would it be ethical? As long as it's ethical. Or that's my stance. You know what? Do whatever you want. I don't care. I mean, you could do whatever the heck you want. And that's okay, because if one of you guys watch these streams and, I mean, hear these words, I mean, that's what a lot of people say, but, I mean, it does pay off. I haven't experienced it yet, but I'm sure for a lot of people it does pay off. And just gotta be strong. That's all. Be strong. So yeah. Yeah, no, I'm getting tired. I still need to kind of eat a bit of dinner. So yeah. Yep. So oh yep. So I hope you guys like this stream. If you guys didn't, hit a dislike. If you guys did, hit the like button. Show your support in a comment, or even just say bye or say something in chat. But yeah. Yep. So I hope you guys like the stream, and I'll see you. Oh, subscribe. Yeah, that's one thing I forgot. Subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.